Moonlight policy. We have been hearing this word a lot these days. Everybody, if it picks up a newspaper or a social media site, you can see moonlighting, moonlighting, moonlighting. What is this moonlighting all about? Let us understand what does moonlighting means in a corporate world. A very warm welcome. My name is Suparna Sharma. Welcome to my channel Bizologer, where we can learn and grow both academically and professionally. Now, what is moonlight in a corporate world? So, by seeing the picture you will able to understand there's an office A and there's an office B. For example, there's an employee, he has joined a full-time resource in office A. A can be any XYZ organization. In case he's working as a full-time in an office organization A, he is not allowed to take up any job in the office B. So what is happening in Moonlight is it refers to doing a job in addition to one's regular job. It is a phrase that describes the practice of working for some other organization while dedicating oneself to the primary's workplace, usually without employer's knowledge. In case some corporates, what do? In case you have to pick up some parallel job, you have to intimate the HR team that you are doing some parallel job. Without the knowledge of the current employer, you are not allowed to do all these things. So this is what Moonlight is all about. So in simple terms, moonlighting means multiple job holdings. It is used to describe those who are having a second job besides their regular ones. Now, it can be a day job, it can be a night job. It is not essentially that you need to work in the night hours only to justify the moonlight statement. No, it can be a day, it can be a regular night job. But then it is something which is parallel, which is going on in parallel along with your current job. Even if you're not working for another employer, you may be considered as a moonlighter if you're having your own side business. So, while joining any corporate offices, it is always advisable that you check with your HR what are the policies of the organization. Big organizations, they don't permit people for the second jobs while they're working on the current ones. Let us understand what are the reasons why the employers they restrict the people for not having the two jobs. Firstly is working for competitors. For example, I am working in a telecom organization. I am working for a telecom organization as a full-time resource, and simultaneously I am working for another telecom operator as a part-time resource. So there can be chances that I am working for my competitors. I am sharing all my data with the other competitors. So this is the prime reason why companies they don't want. They don't want that their trade secrets should be shared with any other organization. So in certain professions, working for competing business is a big no-no. Employers might worry about the confidential information that this is being shared with the other peoples or the clients, which is absolutely against the company's policy. Second is the job performance. You are traveling in two boats simultaneously. When you're working at one place, you can give your 100% at one place. In case you're working at two places, you have to divide your time and attention on the two places so that your job performance might get impacted due to that. If you have to suppose you have to work for 10 hours in an organization, you can't just work 5 hours or 6 hours and then start working on the other organizations or the other work. So this is basically it hampers the job performance also. So these are the two main reasons: working for the competitors, sharing the trade secrets, as well as the job performance. They're the two reasons why companies don't want that their employees should be working on some other organizations or some other assignments. Now you might have some of the questions that is coming up in your mind. Let me help you answering those questions. Firstly, can I get salary from two companies? Firstly, you have to understand ethically it's not right and it's not permitted that you work for two companies. But however, in case you are working for the two companies, yes, you can get salaries from the two companies. There's no issue in that. But now your next question can probably come is how does the employer come to know that I'm working for the two companies? Your provident fund statements, your bank transactions, everything is a clear vision through which the companies can understand and know whether you're working for one company or two companies. You have to understand the companies undergo a severe background check verification process. Under background check verification process, they check all the credentials whether you have submitted are correct or not. Some companies are having a policy of getting the background check done twice in a year. once you join the organization. Apart from that, every after 6 months, they get a background check done for their employees. Those companies who are having very stringent policies. So to answer your question, yes, you can get two salaries from a company, from two different companies. Apart from that, yes, your employer can also come to know you are getting two salaries from different companies. Next is, will my current employer know if I can get a second job? Your employer, as I mentioned, he can always find it out that you're having another job. How? Again, through the background verification. As long as you're working in a longer in a company, you can get exposed to the company on which you're working for. Next question can be, can employer restrict moonlighting? To answer that question, yes. An employer can set the terms of your employment when you start a job. This can include prohibiting moonlighting. You're not allowed to work for two jobs. Probably you can ask, how do companies check on dual employment? So the companies, they undergo a pre-employment check. And the pre-employment check, they check on the relieving date for the previous company for which you were working for. In case there's an overlapping, they permit a small specific amount of overlapping for a day or a week's time. But apart, some companies are very stringently, IT companies, big companies, Wipro, Infosys, uh, Tech Mahindra. Some companies are very stringent. They don't allow a single day overlapping. Your next question can be, can I have two full-time jobs? One, two part-times is yes, we all know that we can do it. Can we have two full-time jobs? Now, for this, I'll say you have to review your employment contract. Some organizations they allow, some organizations they don't allow. However, to say that there is no legal restriction how many jobs you can have in for full-time jobs. Yes, there are restrictions, legal restrictions in terms of in case you're holding some factory job, but no as far as it runs for an IT job or an ITS job. But then you have to again review your contract, employment contract, to understand whether you're allowed to do two jobs or not. Now, as I mentioned, self-employment is also moonlighting. In case you're doing anything apart from what you are supposed to be doing at a full-time job, that is called moonlighting. So self-employment should also be brought to the notice of the HR team and the members. I have worked for different companies and I very well understand what are the code of conduct that you have to follow. In case you're having a full-time employment, what I suggest you guys is take that full-time employment as a full-time role only. In case you have anything that you want to do, consult your HR, consult your supervisors for any clarification that is required. Don't take a decision on your own. So with this, we have come to the end of Moonlight session. In case you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so. I'll be posting more videos, more on professionally as well as academic fronts. Thanks a ton.